what are these things that are here for us through our feeling center? And that's been really alive for me as well in these last few weeks. Has really been really clarifying and really getting in touch with what are the emotions that I'm feeling, what are the sensations that I'm feeling, what is that leading me to in my intuitive guidance, my intuitive understanding, what are these things that are connecting in with me and for me. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to drop in here with you today as well, is that there's just some really, really powerful energies that we are able to tap into when we become aware of them. And that's the thing, is that the more that we can become aware of what is available to us, the more we can really start to shift into a new mind and into a new heart space. This is when we really start connecting in with the quantum field and what is allowing our heart center to fully expand. So, when we talk about waking up or becoming conscious, a lot of people are specifically and only referring to the mind consciousness, the egoic consciousness. This is very, very, very different than the heart consciousness, than what the heart is capable of. The mind is very powerful. The mind is capable of creating many things. But when we talk about the heart and we talk about the connection of the heart, and when we get our heart in alignment, or rather our mind in alignment with our heart and what our heart is sharing with us and telling us, this isn't about what you love, who you love, anything like that. There's a power center of energy that takes place inside the center of your heart. I do believe that this is where our soul resides. I do believe that this is where the very spark of divine intelligence lives inside of your body. It has to live somewhere, and there's only so many places it can be. That's why we feel so much in our heart. That's why we feel so much just in our world when it comes to relationships, when it comes to what's happening to other people, when it comes to these certain things that are taking place in our world. It's really important to be able to open that heart space and understand and know what we can do and how we can use it. Beautiful. So if you were just popping on, please do send me a little note. Say hello so I can see. I see Lisa, I see Shelby, I see Lily. Hello, hello. Sometimes Facebook tells me that there are more and sometimes it doesn't. So if you could shoot me a comment and let me know that you're here, I'd love to connect in and say hi, and that way I know that the comments are working. Let me go ahead and see this here. Beautiful. All right, there it is. There we go. It's working. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Shelby. Hi, Lily. All right. Hello, Melissa. You're in Montreal. Wow. I can't believe that. Hi, Vanessa. There we go. There we go. All right. Beautiful. So, of course, some of you have seen the post. There's a specific reason why I wanted to jump in and chat about this specific topic. What does it mean to embody your higher self? I'm going to give a little backstory. When I very first started developing my own psychic abilities was in my early 20s. I was getting my degree in psychology, and I picked up a book that was called Channeling Your Higher Self. And so when I was connecting in with channeling your higher self and, musing at that topic, it was all very, very new to me. But it seemed to me that your higher self is this like ominous state of your own presence and being that is above you or somewhere outside of you. And as I have continued on my journey of exploration, I have experienced that as well as what it means to embody. And so learning to channel the higher self was a way to access the infinite knowing that we are capable of accessing that is directly connected to our own vibrational signature. So that's what we start to see, is that there's an aspect of your innate and your expansive and infinite self. I don't feel like self is the right word here because it's bigger than that. but ultimately that it is an aspect of you that is higher than your physical form. It's higher than your egoic consciousness. It's even higher than your heart-centered consciousness, that has access to infinite knowledge, infinite lessons, infinite guidance. Any question that you could ask, all of that information is there in accessing your higher self. So this is what I'm talking about when we know what is available to us. So a lot of people don't even know they have a higher self. A lot of people refuse to believe they have a higher self. There's so many different ways to experience life that some people don't even get to this information in their physical form. So when we talk about the higher self, when we talk about accessing it, what I specifically am referring to is being able to consciously connect with the infinite aspect of your being that has access to all knowledge. So when you have access to all knowledge, you have a very specific and direct channel, direct link to answering the questions that are important for you to answer. Like, where do I go? Is this person the right person I should be dating? Is this something I should take seriously? Is this a good career choice? Where do I go on vacation? Like those specific ones. But then also you can pop out of that and ask even bigger questions about, the existential experience that we are all living in as humans. So the embodiment. This is really the exciting part. And this is what I 100% believe, that there is so much support on this planet right now for this kind of embodiment. The energies that are here that feel chaotic, there is a pocket of energy that is available to us when we bring ourselves into a higher mind, when we bring ourselves into the awareness of the quantum field, and when we start clearing our emotional grid. Forgiveness is alchemy. It starts to let go of these dense vibrations and dense emotions that we've been carrying around. And so when you start to allow your emotions and your vibrational capacity, as in what you are carrying around with you, to start elevating into new frequencies and new awareness, this is when the conscious connection to the higher self takes place. Now, that being said, your higher self is with you always. Always. No matter if you're drunk in a gutter somewhere, no matter if you're fighting with your beloved or a family member, no matter the case, your higher self is always there with you. So there's not this laundry list of things that you need to do in order to be able to fully connect with your higher self. The conscious connection is what takes a bit of awareness. And to be honest, it's not that much. So when I'm talking about 7 weeks to embody your higher self, even as I was titling that course, it was like, wow, that's a bold claim. And something that I was really sitting with as I've been developing it and feeling the growth of myself, even before leading it, I'm already experiencing some of this shift within me. And I'd love to hear from some of you. Have you experienced embodying your higher self? Have you experienced channeling your higher self? What right now is the state of your relationship with your higher self? Let me know. I'd love to connect in with a few of you and ask maybe some specific questions. So the embodiment, the 7 weeks to embody your higher self, the more that you learn how to fully connect in, and the more that you learn what it feels like to have that conscious stream of energy and connection coming to you from your highest self, the more it's going to happen, the more it's going to take place. That is the beautiful component and the beautiful aspect of this, is that when that starts to take place and when you start to open that channel, it's like a muscle. It gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger the more you use it. So the 7 weeks to embody the highest self, what we're going to be looking at, we are going to be doing some emotional alchemy. We are going to be releasing patterns from the past that have been stuck. And if you've tuned into the checkout link, it also leads you to Release and Rise, which is it's a suggested prerequisite to this, because doing the release and rise will help you move through your own emotional alchemy, your own emotional experiences that will prime yourself and your space to be ready to fully embody more consistently and more quickly. So, like I said, your higher self is never away from you. It's a matter of basically creating an environment and an awareness that allows that connection to come in and happen all the time. And that is exactly what we are going to be talking about in the 7 weeks to embody your higher self. Now, the conscious activation of the source within. This is my favorite part. The conscious activation of the source within is that illuminated light space inside of your own heart. That illuminated light space is what I believe to be the exact vibrational component of each and every single living organism on this planet that has the spark of the divine creation. It is the exact frequency that we all hold within us. It makes us unified in the field of one. So when you are able to also connect your highest self, the awareness of your higher self, and start to connect that message and that vibration into the awareness that you have, that you are internally an aspect of source, all divine knowing source inside of your physical form, and those pieces and those parts of you really start to connect in a beautiful way, something extraordinary happens in your life experience. The shift of who it is that you have been and the shift of who it is that you came here to be will start to accelerate. And when that acceleration takes place, you will be held in love. You will see divine synchronicities. Some things may fall away. Some things may be painful. There may be pain that you're holding on to right now that you simply cannot carry with you because it's not going with you into the new mind and into the new heart of your new experience, your new life experience. I just want to let that information sit in for a moment. And just feel into what you can feel into right now. Feel into what is washing over you in this moment. There's so much more that I can share with you without words. That for me is the gift of what it is that I have been learning and what it is that I am so thrilled and so excited to share with you and teach you how to connect with for yourself. It shifts everything. It shifts the ease of your relationships. It shifts the ease of your creation. It shifts the ease of your motivation. Helps you to find direction and knowing your soul calling why you're here, and how to get there, how to unfold these things that have maybe been holding you back. We're not going to focus on what's been holding you back. We're going to focus on illuminating that light within and bringing that very conscious and clear connection from your higher self into that spark, that internal spark of your divine presence. So with that, I would love to see if any of you have any questions for me. Otherwise, I can just simply slip into sharing some light codes and encourage you to, of course, click the enrollment link that is in the comments. That enrollment link is there available for you so that you can access our first live class, which is going to be on Sunday. The live class is our intro class. So it is one that you can bring friends and family to. You're welcome to invite people to come in and join. And then our first official class is November 8th, the following Sunday. Classes are going to be every Sunday up until, I think it's like December 20th, something like that. I wanted to make sure that we finished before the ominous day of December 21st. So that is the time frame. Classes are going to be 1 hour. We're not going to have so much of group discussion as I do in Moon Club and Metaphysical Club. They're going to be simple 1 hour transmission. So you just hop into class, plug in some headphones, maybe you lay down, cover your eyes, and simply receive the transmission. It's as easy as it could be. Absolutely as easy as it could be. So, yes, we do have a short onboarding time frame, so please do feel free to share it with as many friends and family and loves as you'd like. As I mentioned, the intro class is open. Of course, I would love for you to register as soon as you are able, and then the registration will close after our intro class. So if you're just popping on, please do feel free to come back and watch us from the beginning. I'll go ahead and end with a prayer of light codes. Iwa ua kayani awaya aya iawa iwa ukua sutunua ua yo uni awaya ya. Iwa ua sua ua puani awa ia kiani awa ua yani awa asua ya aya kiani awa ua puani ikia okokotani awa kokoni awa pupuni asakani awa pupuni awa kiani ya. Ua poni awa akayani awa wani akiani tatani awa wasani atayani ya. Iwa kuani awa sokododo no ya wa poni awa ua ya kiani awa ya. There's a prayer in there to release doubt, prayer in there to open your heart, and a beautiful prayer in there as well for you to fully connect in with that divine radiance within to illuminate your heart space. For myself, I also included a prayer to activate the channel of connection for those who are meant to be in this course and those who are meant to receive the information and guidance that will be channeled through. We are in this together. My intention with this course is to hold so much space and to really be a container and guide so that you can explore in a safe and free way more of the depths that are going on within your inner workings. How are you making decisions? How are you shifting into your new mind? How are you contributing to the new earth? All of this there's so much extraordinary magic and energy to explore right now. And so with that, my friend, I do encourage you to place hand on heart and just simply ask, is this course developed for you in your highest and greatest good? If you lean forward, it's a yes. If you lean back, it's a no. And that way you will know if it's for you or not. So with that, my dear love, I'll chat with you again very soon. And if you have any questions, please, please, please feel free to reach out and let me know. Ciao, ciao.